This time we're going to configure a new VPN profile with the LDAP authentication using um, domain controller. We don't have at this time we will not use Cisco ICE. We will use the LDAP protocol of domain controller. So I will be configuring the AAA server. So LDAP server, then protocol. We'll use LDAP. Then we'll just configure the AAA server and we will give the details. So this LDAP server, the domain controller, is sitting in the inside network of the firewall. So I will choose inside and the IP address of the domain controller, which is 10.128.1.13. Then we will hard code those LDAP base DN, which is the domain name. My domain name is Arnel A. Pabustan and I'm using .com. So this is then we will use LDAP scopes sub 3, meaning any domain account can do a can access a um, VPN, can authenticate on this um, VPN firewall that we're going to configure. So this is only a demo, so we'll just make it simple. We will allow all the domain users. Okay, so I'll configure the LDAP naming attribute, which is SAM account name. Then I'll put the account that will query um, the domain controller. So for this demo purposes, I will use the administrator. Then we'll set the password of this administrator. We'll put server auto detect. Then we'll use password for this administrator. I will post the video because I don't want to show you the password. Okay, I put the password on that one because I don't want to put the password of my domain controller from the internet. Let me verify the server type that I use. I think I use all auto detect. Okay, so looks good. All the configuration of the LDAP server are there. So now um, let me verify. Yeah, it's there. It's time now to test this LDAP server. If LDAP configuration is working. So let's go to ASDM. Let's test it in the ASDM and see if it's working. So at this time, I'm still using the local account of the box. Okay, I'm logging in as Arnel. This is a currently local account. We will change this later into um, um, domain account to manage it. Okay, then we will check we'll verify this LDAP. We can test this one. Let's verify the configuration. Click test. This is the credential that we hard coded from the CLI. Okay, then we'll click um, we'll verify, we'll test it. Okay, so So, okay, we will remove the server type auto detect. Okay, let's see. Now we can test it. So I'll choose authentication. I'll put my name. This is my um, credential in my domain. This is now it's working. See, it is successful. So that account, the LDAP that we configure, it's working now. So we've done the LDAP authentication. We have a LDAP working. Now we will check the management. Okay, we'll configure the management. We will use a domain account to log in on the firewall. So first we will enable the authentication and enable console. First LDAP server, then a local. That means if LDAP server is down, we can authenticate using local. Same also with the ASDM. It's ASDM HTTP, then console, then LDAP server, then local. So that if we cannot use the LDAP server using ASDM, we can use the local account. Okay. Same also with the SSH. Okay. If at the moment we're using SSH using local account, okay, we will remove this existing SSH access using local. Okay, so I'll remove this one. Then I'll configure AAA authentication SSH console, LDAP server, then local. Okay, then that's all. Now the management using domain account will work now. I think so. Let's see. So I will show you the existing username in the local account of this box. So only Arnel and Pinoy EX7 user is here. Okay, only Arnel is the user here. Let's check our domain controller. Okay, in our domain controller, we have Karen account, we have John. Okay, let's try to use this account. Okay, let me try to test first. Authentication, I'll put John, okay, and the password. Okay, password is working. So let me try to create a new session. Okay, I'll try to create a new session. I will SSH the firewall. Okay, okay, I will use username John here. So it's working, I think. Yep, yeah. John account is working now in accessing the firewall. See, I don't have John account in the local firewall. So management using domain users, we can log in to the box. Next, we'll check the VPN. At the moment, I have existing VPN pool. Okay, that is the IP address when we connect to the VPN. This time, we're going to configure the VPN, SSL VPN. Okay, first we will create a group policy, then the tunnel group. Okay, I will make it, I'll change the font so that we can see properly. I'll just change the font and I will make it 12, 14. Okay, then apply. Now this time we're going to configure the group policy. Okay, I will name it group policy underscore. I will put group policy underscore VPN. Okay, internal. Then group policy attributes. Attributes. Then I'll type win server none. Okay, and DNS server will be our DNS server, which is 10.128.1.13. Then the VPN tunnel protocol, I will use SSL client. That means we need to use a SSL Anyconnect client. Then let's configure the default domain value, which is apabustan.com. Enter. Then after we configure the group policy, we will configure the tunnel group. Tunnel group VPN, type remote access. Okay, then tunnel group VPN general attributes. Then I will get the address pool, which is the VPN pool, the one that I showed you earlier. VPN pool, this is the VPN pool that we're going to use. Okay, we're calling that VPN pool. Then we'll configure authentication server group. With what is our authentication server? Authentication server group, which is our LDAP server, the one that we use. That means we will use those user in the domain controller. Okay. Then I will use default group policies. I will call now the group policy VPN, the one that we configure. Group policy VPN underscore VPN. Then we'll configure the tunnel group. Then we'll configure the tunnel group VPN. Tunnel group VPN with web attributes. Then I'll put the alias. What is our alias? Alias will be the VPN. This one, it will show when you click the Anyconnect, it will give you the drop down list, and that is the name of our alias is VPN. Then I will configure the NAT rules. I will configure the NAT rules for the VPN pool, NAT inside outside, source, static, any destination, static, VPN pool, then space VPN pool, no ARP, no proxy ARP, route lookup. Okay, then we're done. We're done here. So let's test this VPN. Let's refresh the ASDM because we made some changes from the CLI. Okay, let's verify the things that we have Done from CLI. This is our LDAP server. Okay, we're calling those user from this mapping group. Okay, these are the configuration. Okay, later we're going to configure the Anyconnect VPN using ASDM. It will be more easier compared to CLI. I will show you that one. This is the settings of our VPN. Let's test the VPN using one of the VM. I have a Windows 7 here. Let me enable the Wi-Fi, the hotspot on my mobile. Okay, the SSID is MagCC. Okay, let me connect and test this VPN and see. So I'm using Training Tech trainingtechlabs.ddns.net. I don't have static IP, that's why I'm using the DNS service. So that one is okay. We're just changing the, because I don't have certificate from my box, so I will remove that settings and click connect anyway. Okay, this is the drop down. I'll choose the VPN and put John account and password. It's connected. That means VPN account is working. So let's verify from the box. We can see here if John account is connected on the in the VPN. Let's filter this one and connect. See, John account is connected over VPN. Yes, that's good. Our test is successful. So we can see here Turning Tech Labs DDNS.net is connected to VPN. Great. So we're using here, we got the VPN pool and we're using the DTLS. Okay. This time let's try to configure using the ASDM. We'll create a new VPN, we'll call it VPN2, then click next, then deselect IPsec, then click next, then we'll use LDAP server, and next. This time we're going to use another VPN pool. I will call it VPN pool VPN pool 2 maybe. So this VPN pool will, the range will be 10.128.129.1 up to 254/24. Next, next, let's put the DNS. We'll go back 10.128.1.13, our DNS server. Click next. Exempt VPN traffic. This is the NAT that we configure so that we can access the inside network from the VPN. So click next, finish. This is how simple, how to when configuring SSL VPN using ASDM is very simple. Just click next, next, next. The only disadvantage using ASDM, you cannot choose the object that you want. So let's try the VPN 2. Okay, let me open this Windows 7. Okay, try to connect on the Wi-Fi. Okay, let's open our Anyconnect. trainingtechlabs ddns.net. Just click connect, then VPN2 is there. Then let's enter the username or password of Karen. Okay, click password. Okay, connect. Okay, it's working. So SSL VPN using um, ASDM. Let's try to ping the DNS server from VPN. You see, it's working. So we can reach the DNS server from the VPN. I hope you enjoyed this video. Um, if you like this video, you can click like or subscribe. See, let's verify the account. So VPN, current account VPN is working. Let's check from the domain controller if we have current account in the domain controller. Let's log in, see, current account is here. Okay,